I've been a realtor for 6.5 years now and own multiple properties, and I wish I had this one account when I was buying my first home because it could have saved me tens of thousands of dollars. That account is the First Home Savings Account, the FHSA, and today we're gonna walk through what that account is, what the details are of that account, and how you could use it to your advantage to help you buy that first home. So what is an FHSA? Designed to help Canadians save up for that down payment and buy their first home. This account launched in April of 2023, so it's been around for 2.5 or so years already. This account lets you contribute $8,000 every single year up to a max contribution room of $40,000. So if you were contributing the max every single year, you could do that for 5 straight years, which would then give you the $40,000 in max contribution. So you might be thinking that $40,000 is kind of a random number, but there is some math to it. The average price of a home in Canada right now is about $680,000. That includes condos and freeholds, so homes without condo fees. The minimum down payment to purchase any home in Canada is 5% for the first $500,000, and the portion between $500,000 to $1.5 million requires 10% down. So $40,000 equates to about 5.8 to 6% of that $680,000, which is the average price of a home in Canada. So the whole purpose of this account is so that you could save up your money and buy that first home faster. Why I love this account and wish I had it when I bought my first home is that it is a registered account. That just means there are tax advantages within this account. The beauty of it is that the FHSA is a hybrid of both the TFSA and the RRSP. It combines the best of a TFSA and an RRSP into one account. So let's kind of go over quickly what the TFSA and RRSP's benefits are. So for your TFSA, it is after tax dollars, which means the money you put in has already been taxed. And if your money grows, if you invest your money within your TFSA, any of the growth is tax-free when you take the money out. For your RRSP, it is pre-tax dollars. So when you put money into the account, you are able to then reduce your taxable income for that certain year. However, any growth in your investments and in that account will be taxed at your current tax level when you do take that money out, whenever that is. But the FHSA combines the best of both worlds. What that means is when you contribute money to the FHSA, you're able to reduce your taxable income for that year. And at the same time, any growth that happens within that account is tax-free. So with the First Home Savings Account, you can contribute $8,000 every single year, and every year that you don't use up any contribution room, it just gets carried over to the following year. For you to trigger the start of your contribution room, you just have to open up an account. So if you open up an account this year and don't contribute this year, you'll have $8,000 automatically for your contribution room, and then next year you'll have $16,000, then $24,000, and so on and so forth. But if you never open up an account, you will never actually start your contribution room. Versus your TFSA, your contribution room actually starts the second you turn 18 years old. So even if you did nothing, your TFSA's contribution room keeps growing as you get older. The thing about the First Home Savings Account is that it is specifically designed for you to buy a home. And they give you a 15-year time frame to purchase that home. So if you open it up in 2025, you have until 2040 to use that account and the funds that are in that account to buy your home. And if you don't, you'll then have to transfer the funds in your First Home Savings Account into your RRSP. So it's not a waste if you don't end up buying a home, or if your plans change, you could still transfer those funds into your RRSP tax-free. If you're a numbers person like me, I like running through scenarios in my head and on paper, and I like to visually see it. So if you've been following Mal and I for a while now, you kind of know that we pretty much just invest into boring ETFs, and we invest for the long term. So let's just go through an example of how much my FHSA account would be today if I invested the way I currently invest back when the the FHSA opened up. So in April of 2023, VFV cost about $98 per share. And if I would have contributed the max $8,000, that would have bought me about 81 shares of VFV. So let's fast forward a year later, April 2024, VFV is now worth $125 per share, which would make my portfolio just over $10,000. I would then buy another $8,000 worth of VFV, which would then make my portfolio roughly around $18,000. Fast forward a year later to April 2025, VFV is now worth $128 per share, and I would buy another $8,000 worth of shares in VFV, which would now put my portfolio at $26,600. And today, a few months later, VFV is now worth 160, is that right? 128. VFV is worth $162 per share, which would then make my portfolio $33,800. That's wild to me because I would have contributed $24,000. That's 8,000 times 3. And my portfolio, because I invested that money, grew to now $33,000. That's about close to $10,000 of tax-free money that I was able to generate by investing my money within my FHSA. But it doesn't stop there. Because the FHSA is an account where you're able to invest money in, yes, I was able to grow my account, but don't forget, it's a registered account. So every time I contributed money into that account, for the year that I contributed it in, I'm able to reduce my taxable income. So let's say I make $75,000 every single year. By contributing the $8,000 into the FHSA for those 3 years, every single year I would have reduced my taxable income, which would mean I would have had an income tax refund of about $2,500. So for 3 years, that's about $7,500 in income that I get back that I don't have to pay the government, which I could put towards continuing my FHSA contributions, investing other places, or just spending it myself. But in those 3 years, I was able to save close to $18,000 with this FHSA account. And I think this is pretty cool because in the example, if I made $75,000, this equates to about 23% of my gross income for the year. So I was able to generate $23,000 just by having and investing this FHSA. So in the end, in those 3 years, I have about $40,000 that I could put for a down payment on a home if I decide to purchase one soon, or if I want to continue investing, continue getting those gains. That $40,000 is gonna benefit from compounding interest and will continue to grow until I'm ready to eventually buy that home. The FHSA is just something else that the government has provided first-time buyers in order to help them buy their first home. Before the FHSA, the only other program that was out there that the government provided first-time home buyers was something called the Home Buyers Plan. And what that is that it allowed first-time home buyers to take up to $35,000 from their RRSPs in order to use it for a down payment, in order for them to use it for their first time purchase. The thing about the home buyers plan is that the funds that you borrow from yourself in your RRSPs, you have to pay back in about 15 years. So after 2 years of buying your home, you have to pay 1/15 of the balance every single year until you pay it back. Think of it as an interest-free loan to yourself. Now, the FHSA is just another account out there to help Canadians buy their first home. However, I think the FHSA is a better account because you're able to still have your RRSP income tax reductions every single time you put contributions, and you're able to withdraw the funds tax-free. And when you use those funds for your first home, you don't have to pay yourself back. It's not an interest-free loan. It is just money that you've invested, saved, accumulated within that account and able to use it for your first home. Some things to consider with this account is that the sole purpose of this account is for you as a Canadian to buy your first home. And if you don't use it to buy your first home, the funds within this account will just then get transferred over to your RRSPs. There's always going to be market risk with any investment, regardless of the account, whether you're in a registered account or non-registered account. So just keep in mind the money in your first home savings account, if you do decide to invest that money, it's not 100% safe. Your money could go down, it could go up. Hopefully it goes up, but there is the fluctuations of the stock market and whatever other investment vehicles you do have. Essentially, I would recommend everyone to open up this account because it's free. You can go to any banks or major financial institutions and open up an account. If you want, there is a Wealthsimple link below where you can sign up for Wealthsimple and open up your FHSA there. If you do use our code, you will get some money for signing up, and so will we. And that could be your first contribution to your FHSA. And even if you're not looking to buy a home, either right now or in the future, you just never know. Things could change in the next 5, 10, 15 years, and maybe you do want to buy a home. And again, because it's free, I don't see why you wouldn't open up an account. You could take advantage of some tax advantages, and at the same time, it's just good to have because you never know what's going to happen in the future. And honestly, if you truly just don't decide to buy a home in those 15 years, your FHSA will just get rolled into your RRSP, which essentially will increase your RRSP contributions by $40,000. So either way, right now or today or tomorrow, whenever, I highly suggest you open up an account.